Hey guitar friends, welcome to All About Guitar Academy. Today we're going to talk about alternate picking and connecting licks between your chords. That's coming right up, so make sure you grab your guitar, put it in standard tuning, and let's get ready to learn how to alternate pick. Hey guitar friends, we're going to talk about alternate picking today, and I want to thank my good friend and subscriber Russell Lego for bringing this up in one of our lessons where we were connecting licks with chords. He asked this question, hey, let's talk about alternate picking next time. Well, it's not the next time from the last video, but we are going to cover that today, so thanks Russell. And I thought it would be good to connect this to our series, Playing Licks Between Chords, because the way I want to show you how to alternate pick is from a beginner's standpoint, but get a little bit intermediate and show you how to connect some of these licks to the chords that we covered in the last lesson that we talked about this. So let's put all this together. Today's going to be a great lesson. I'm glad you're here. And if you get a lot from this lesson, please remember to like and subscribe, tell your friends, share the video, and check us out at allaboutguitaracademy.com. Okay, let's jump right in. You know, when I first started learning to play guitar, it was all down strumming. And that's great. I teach my students when they're first starting out how to down strum first so you can get a good feel for the guitar and the strings and how not to hit the strings too hard. But eventually, you've got to strum up, right? And that's also an important part of your guitar journey, is to learn how to strum down and up. All right, so picking is the same way. We tend to start out picking on the guitar straight down. All right, and what we want to do is learn how to bring the pick up. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then faster and faster. If you want to get into some metal music, for example, you're going to want to learn how to do that very fast. Now, James Hetfield is an exception to the rule. He can down pick very fast. Check him out sometime if you don't believe me. So let's jump right into this alternate picking. Another thing that people talk about when they talk about alternate picking is alternating between different strings. We're not going to cover that today. That's a different lesson for a different day. But what I am going to cover with you today is tips on how to alternate your picking down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, so here's a really quick way to start learning how to alternate pick, in my opinion. Get yourself a thinner pick if you can. I use Jim Dunlop nylon picks, 0.38 millimeter, and they're pretty darn thin. And the reason I like that is because as I progress through my career as a musician and guitarist, I found out that I break less strings and I have a much closer feel for what I'm playing on the guitar if I use a thin pick. Now, if you're using a hard pick, that is perfectly okay. And a lot of beginners use it, and even professional guitar players. Some of them use metal picks. But what I don't want you to do is bust your strings while you're learning how to alternate pick. So, for example, let's start with our E string. So you notice that I'm resting my other fingers of my hand on the pick guard down here. That works good for me. It kind of gives me some leverage so that I can down pick and up pick at the same time. So once you're comfortable doing this on your E string, your low E, go to your A string and do the same thing. Down, up, down, up. And you can mute the other strings of your guitar with your fingers up here, not pressing down, just lightly touching the strings. So we're going to do this on the open 5th string, the A string. Down, up. Okay, practice that until it feels pretty natural. You want to do that on the rest of the strings on your guitar. I'm not going to do that for today's lesson here with you, but do this in your spare time. So you want to practice that with each string of your guitar. Okay, the next thing we want to do is let's practice a little riff using alternate picking, and we're also going to add a hammer-on here. So if I was playing in the key of G, for example, there's a little riff in Sweet Home Alabama that kind of sounds like this. All right, so we're going to utilize that hammer-on. If you've never done this before, what I'm doing, I'm simply playing on string number 4. I'm hammering down on fret number 2. So it sounds like this. And I'm striking the pick downwards. We're taking our pick down towards the floor. And I'm lifting off of the string after I connect with the note. Now I'm going to add another string. I'm going to add this open 3rd string, which is a G string. It's going to go like this. But when I hit that G string, I'm going to bring my pick up towards my face. So down and then up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You get the idea? Now, I don't expect you to be able to do that just like I did right away, but you want to eventually get to that point. So let's do that one more time. Striking down and then up, down and then up. Okay, to recap, once you've got the alternate picking down on your E string, and you've learned the hammer-on riff, just like that, using alternate picking. Now let's add some chords in there. We're going to do a G major chord. Then we're going to do the alternate picking riff. And then we'll go to a C add 9. And then a D major. And then back to G major. Okay, so let's go through the chords again, so I want you to be able to follow along. G major, C add 9, D major, G major. Now we're going to add the riff. Did you follow along with me? If you did, awesome. Okay, you ready to go up another level? Let's create a little riff. We're going to play this riff using alternate picking, and we're going to keep our chords that we've been using, our G major, C add 9, D major, and then back to the G major. All right, the riff is going to sound like this. I'll do that one more time. Okay, let's look at this from a different angle. I want you to watch my picking hand first and then watch the riff. Okay, here we go. Okay, this takes some practice, but what I really want you to pick up on is that we're alternating our pick down, up, down, up, down, up. And the riff, let's learn the riff here. All we're doing is sliding up with our middle finger, finger number 2, up a whole step from this A note, okay? And we're doing that down. Now we're going to go over here to string number 2 with our index finger, or finger number 1, and hit this note right here. It's a D note on string 2. And when I hit that D note, I'm alternating my pick to go up. So we're going down, okay? like this. I'll do that again. I'm alternating my pick as well. All right, you with me? Okay, now we're going to put all that together. Hammer-ons, alternate picking, chords, the whole deal. We're going to do G major, C add 9, D major, and then we're going to end with our little riff that we started with. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. All right, guitar friends, I hope this taught you a lot today. Just remember to practice this, okay? Start out practicing alternate picking, just going down, up, down, up, down, up, like I showed you. Then start practicing alternate picking on your chords, for example. Then start alternate picking on your riffs. The riffs I showed you today are pretty basic. And then the intermediate riff that I showed you, okay, that's just alternate picking, down, up, down, up. There is some stuff going on up here with your fingers. It might take a little while. If you're a beginner, give yourself time. All right, this is not an easy thing to do just starting out. But I want to encourage you to learn what we covered today, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned for more.